Talks have broken down between the Greek government and the so-called Troika, which represents the big European banks. The bankers had put forth a loan offer that would have meant even sharper cuts in government services and even lower standards of living for Greeks. The leftist Syriza coalition that was elected to power in January will hold a referendum tomorrow on whether to accept terms which it says would amount to a national humiliation for Greece. I'll be speaking to Despina Lalaki, a sociologist normally based in New York, active with AKNY and with Syriza New York. Good evening.
Hello.
So in what part of Greece are you now?
I'm currently in Athens.
Are you from
I am from Athens, yes. And I was very happy to attend actually the Syntagma Square demonstration.
Describe it. Tell what it was like, this last big one.
Actually, I can, it was incredible. It was amazing. It was beyond everybody's expectations. I had actually attended another one on Monday, and to which it could hardly compare. It was nothing like that. I mean, the numbers are kind of difficult to estimate. Some people talk about 150,000 people. Other people even talk about beyond 200,000. It was like a sea of people coming from everywhere, like flooding for hours, Syntagma Square. It was really emotional. It was incredible.
And what are the banners saying, and what are the slogans?
Well, the slogans, Ohi was very popular, obviously. People like screaming and shouting. Ohi, which means no, means no. The whole referendum has been organized around this question, yes or no. And we can talk more about this and what it means. There was music. The Prime Minister, Alexis Tsipras, addressed us at some point. The response was incredible. It was very encouraging. Was very heartfelt. The whole atmosphere was really encouraging. It was wonderful.
So what did the Prime Minister Tsipras say to the people? What is his plan?
Well, last night it was not an occasion to discuss plans, but it was a message of hope. He highlighted, as far as I remember, because everything was like we were so much caught up in the moment, the undemocratic recent practices of our European partners, if you wish, and which basically led us to this situation where we are today, and the impossibility of actually reaching an agreement. So, and his decision basically to bring this to the Greek people and make it everybody's responsibility to directly respond to the European partners.
So what are living conditions like? There was a kind of a scary, panicky article in The Guardian that there's shortages of food and medicine. Are you seeing that?
No, there is no shortage of food or medicine, and there is no immediate threat for any kind of shortage. The only thing that we experienced were like some long lines outside some ATMs. In many occasions, not even long lines, just people trying to go and withdraw that daily. There's a maximum of 60 euros that we can withdraw. And but it was really impressive how civil everybody was, cordial. I have heard it from many different directions how peaceful people have been and how calm these days. And responding very, very well to the calls of the government in order to go peacefully to this referendum and have the people heard, actually.
Now, I don't know if you...
There is no panic in the streets of Athens. It's complete peace. And even yesterday that there were, as I said, thousands of people, like pushed together and like say it was like almost like a celebration. Everybody was like so cordial and so amiable and so friendly and careful not to cause any kind of troubles. That it was really impressive. So despite and beyond like this effort by the media, primarily by the Greek media, but not only, but foreign international media as well, to sort of like create a sense of panic or disorder, possibly, people have responded very, very well, and nothing to that has taken place.
Now, the New York Times today had an op-ed by a Greek newspaper editor or writer calling for a yes vote. I apologize, I don't remember his name or his paper, but he was saying that Greece and the European Union should be indivisible, implying that a no vote is a rejection of Europe. What do you think of that?
Well, there are ample of interpretations these days, but what Syriza has again and again tried to highlight and stress is that this is a European kind of vote, and this is actually a way to strengthen the most recently very much weakened democratic institutions of Europe. This is the most democratic action that a European government could take at this point, bring these very, very crucial issues directly to the people. So Syriza is building precisely the opposite argument, suggesting that this is the most democratic action that, as I just said, like a European government could take. And we pretty much share the feeling, and I hope that tomorrow the participation would be quite wide, and we look forward to the results. We're very, very hopeful, actually.
One more question. There's been demonstrations of support for the government of Greece in Paris and Glasgow and Dublin. United States workers are not watching it, or if they are, not in an organized way. What would you tell U.S. workers about the importance of what's going on in Greece?
Well, as you just suggested, like these thousands and thousands of people that took to the streets of Europe the past few days, and not just Europe, we had protests even as far away as Australia, and of course, as we know, like in New York City, is a suggestion that this is not just a Greek issue. This is definitely not just a European issue. Myself, living in the United States for quite a long time now, I see that policies that are trying to be implemented like in Europe and completely abandon that the welfare state of Europe as we used to know it after World War II are pretty much models and systems introduced first and foremost in the United States. So therefore, we are very much in it together. And we should all pay way much more attention to each other's struggles. Like we have many of us mobilized most recently around the issue of what has come under the slogan of Black Lives Matter. This is not an American issue alone, and definitely this is not a race issue alone. It's very much related to questions of class. And as I just said, this is a world affair. This is not national isolated issues.
Well, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you very much for calling. Very nice to see you, Stanley.